Hi guys, I'm going to be talking about something different than my last video today, which is the unsolved murders of Jack the Ripper. I'm going to take you back to August 31st, 1888, in which Jack made his first victim. Her name was Mary Ann Nichols. Her nickname was Polly, which was given to her by her friends. She was a 42-year-old prostitute, and she was the ever first victim of Jack the Ripper. She was found in a narrow street on Bucks Row. The description of her position of her body is pretty gruesome, so if you're not into that stuff or you're sensitive to blood or murder, please click on my last video in which I do my makeup. It's a lot more calmer. To the rest of you, let's dive into it. It is said that the two large vessels on her neck were severed and opened by Jack. This was a pretty gruesome sight. It also stated that he or she made a circular incision about 3 inches, which indicates that the murderer had a lot of surgical knowledge. So he had to know something about the human anatomy. They stated that her abdomen was cut open from the center of the bottom of her ribs, right on the left side of her stomach. However, after the murder, there was no evidence found at all, which indicates some type of person, man or female, gender. There was no murder weapon. Nothing was found at the scene, so nobody knew who did it. Her family obviously was devastated. Jack the Ripper, however, was not gonna stop here. He went on to kill 4 more victims, 4 of them all being prostitutes. The first victim was Annie Chapman. The victim after that, Elizabeth Stride. After that, Catherine Eddowes. And the last victim ever to be killed by Jack the Ripper was Mary Jane Kelly. Annie was found in an even more gruesome way. The Ripper really did his work here. Not only did he cut her abdomen, but he removed her complete uterus and ripped it out. This happened in a way too precise manner, which made authorities believe that he obviously had to know some type of surgical knowledge. Elizabeth, however, was the only one with less wounds on her body, as she was the one that got her throat cut. Now, you all had a backstory on the victims. I will also give you a backstory on his name. How did Jack the Ripper become Jack the Ripper? Well, in September 1888, the Central News Agency received a letter. This was written in red ink and had a lot of gruesome details about the murder. Not only about the murder, but about the murderer, how he loved murdering and how he enjoyed the murder. This was very gruesome. But a very important thing about this letter was that it was signed, it had a signature by Jack the Ripper. That's how he got his name. He was also referred to as the Whitechapel murder, which refers to the place that he did his murders, which was in the Whitechapel district in London. And he also was called the Leather Apron. I did not, however, find any indicates on why it was the Leather Apron and what was going on exactly with that name. Eventually, I gathered up some theories for you guys, which I think you will enjoy. Even though the murders remain unsolved, a whole bunch of people on the internet, but also a lot of people from the Whitechapel district, got to thinking, and they came up with a lot of theories that can state who Jack the Ripper is. So I'm going to dive into those theories. First theory is that Joseph Barnett is Jack the Ripper. We haven't heard of Joseph Barnett yet, because I didn't explain who he was. Joseph Barnett seemed to be a local man that had nothing to do with it. He lived in the Whitechapel district and really knew his way out in the streets. Only, he didn't really have nothing to do with it. The thing is, Joseph Barnett was Mary Jane Kelly, the Ripper's last victim's boyfriend. A lot of theorists believe that this is why Joseph Barnett could be Jack the Ripper. Obviously, Mary Jane Kelly was a prostitute, and obviously, Joseph didn't really like that. his girlfriend was a prostitute. That's not really the type of job that they want their spouse to have. So, a lot of people believe that Joseph actually went out to kill 4 prostitutes to send out a message to Mary, so that maybe she would stop being a prostitute and maybe she would stop doing that ridiculous job and actually get a better job. They also believe that because that didn't work and his plan failed, he just decided to give up and kill Mary Jane so that his misery would be ended. Me, myself, I don't really support this theory, because why would he go through the effort of actually killing 4 prostitutes to state a point and make a point for Mary so that she can stop, to then kill Mary? Another theory is that Queen Victoria's grandson, also named as Eddie, might be Jack the Ripper. This is believed because he's a suspect for a long time. Apparently he got a psychosis, which was syphilis, and this made him kill 5 prostitutes. Me, myself, I don't support this theory either, because it seems a little bit weird to put everything on a self-psychosis or a disease, that he killed 4 prostitutes. That doesn't make sense. Just to put it on that is a little bit crazy. There also is another theory going around on the grandson of Queen Victoria, or Eddie, but I haven't really looked into that theory yet, because it has this whole thing with Russian spies and England spies and whatever. So if you want to look into that, I'll link down below the site where I found it. And the third theory is that Walter Sickert, which is a famous painter, was actually Jack the Ripper. This was based on a book from Stephen Knight, in which he wrote a whole complot theory about Walter Sickert actually being involved in the murders and being forced into being an accomplice, while there are actually 2 killers. And for recommendations, I will link down the book below so that you can go and maybe order it or read a little description about it just to get more involved into it. And I really had fun looking into Jack the Ripper, because I had my fair knowledge of him, but it was very intriguing to actually learn more about him and see what he actually did and what he actually didn't do. So if you guys want more of these videos, please let me know down below in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, help me grow as a channel, because I would love to do more of these. Thank you for watching.